Hello everyone, my name is Ogbanje Joseph, and today we're going to be discussing research. Research. Human beings, are social animals, with well-developed brains, has been encountering various difficulties, problems, and challenges, from the time immemorial, and in the course of interacting with his or her immediate environment in order to survive, adjust, adapt, and improve, you know, the driving conditions, you know, in the course of surmounting the arrays of challenges confronting human existence. It thus becomes imperative to carry out, a worthwhile investigation about the nature of environment, because to a large extent human chance of survival is a product of the amount of knowledge acquired from the environment and the extent to which we can subdue it. So it is actually very important for human beings to actually keep doing research. So research is actually one of the things that one of life's endeavors that human beings must necessarily embark upon. Okay. Now, research, like I said, is one thing that all students, particularly in tertiary institutions, must embark upon before graduating. So if you must graduate from the university, from the monotechnics, from the college of education, and all of that, you must embark on research. So now we are going to be looking at the meaning of research. The meaning of research. Research is a term, that a lot of people are actually very familiar with. It is one thing that, as a student of tertiary institution, that you must always hear about. Like I said, it is in the academic community, like I mentioned universities, polytechnics, monotechnics, and colleges of education. It is actually an exercise that students and academicians always regularly engage in. And the reason they engage in that is so that they can find answers to a lot of social problems, either social or academic, or even scientific issues in the society. Now let us look at the meaning of research. Now, research, from the English language, is a word that is composed of two syllables. We have re and search. The word re is a prefix meaning again, anew, or over again. Okay. Search, on the other hand, is a verb which means to examine closely and carefully, to test and try, or to probe. Therefore, research simply means to search for knowledge again and again. Some some synonyms for research are inquiry, you know, investigation, and study. But let us go to the root meaning. Let us look at some other, uh, you know, meaning, etymological meaning of research. So generally, the term research has its etymological derivation from the French word rechercher, which means to investigate thoroughly or to go about seeking. you know. Now, the term itself is derived from another old French word, researcher, from the compound word re plus searcher, which means to search really hard. In other words, it means to investigate. Means to what? To investigate thoroughly and to search for knowledge, again and again. So when we talk about research, we are actually talking about the quest for knowledge, and is probably an innate attribute of man. The quest for knowledge is probably an innate, you know, attribute of man. Now, having found himself in a complex world full of puzzles and problems, it is only natural for man to seek for knowledge about the complex world in which he lives in. Obviously, man needs, knowledge about the world around him so that he can live in a meaningful world on planet Earth. Okay, so this is where research actually, is very, very important. But let us move ahead. Now, let us look at definition. We have having looked at meanings of research. We're now going to look at the definition of research. Now, how do we define research? Now, in the broadest sense of the word, research includes any gathering of data, information, and facts for the advancement of knowledge. Okay, so when we're talking about research in common parlance, it refers to a search for knowledge on the investigation of a particular topic using a variety of reliable scholarly resources. Now, some other people consider research as a movement from the known to the unknown. So research is actually a movement from the known to the unknown. Now, it is a voyage of discovery. Human beings possess the vital instinct of inquisitiveness for when the unknown confronts them. They wonder, and their inquisitiveness makes them to probe and attain full and better understanding of the unknown. This inquisitiveness is the mother of all knowledge and the method which man employs for obtaining the knowledge of whatever is the unknown and can be referred to as research. So now let us look at some scholarly definition. Now, according to the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary 7th edition, published in 2005, research is a careful study of a subject, especially in order to discover new facts or information about it. Although the discovery of new facts is the ultimate aims, of most research endeavors, some are undertaken to prove whether the outcome of a previous research are valid or not. So now that is according to the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary 7th edition. But let us look at the Chambers Dictionary 11th edition, published in 2009. It said that research is a careful search, investigation, and systematic investigation towards increasing the sum of knowledge. So similarly, the Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary defines research as a studious inquiry or examination, investigation, and experimentation aimed at the discovery and interpretation of facts, revision of accepted theories or laws in the light of new facts or practical application of such new or revised theories or laws. So, having examined broad and dictionary definitions, we now turn to some more scholarly, technical, or academic definitions of research, you know, of research. Now, let us look at Crosswell now. Crosswell. Now, Crosswell 2008 defines research as a process. It defines research as a process of steps used to collect and analyze information to increase our understanding of a topic or issue. So the important thing about this definition is that it emphasizes the fact that scientific research is conducted in stages. You understand? In other words, it is a step-by-step process in which people embark upon, to come out with certain scientific, scientific activities. Now, according to Shuttleworth 2008 asserts that the strict definition of scientific research is performing a methodological study in order to provide or prove a hypothesis or answer a specific research question. So he further explains that finding a definitive answer to a problem is the central goal of most scientific research. So now another site we need to look at is the Malicious blog 2013. Looks at research as a scientific investigation of phenomenon, which includes collection, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of facts that aligns an individual's speculation with reality. So this definition is very useful in that it captures the essence of what is done in social research. Killinger and Lee 2000 looks at research as a scientific search, as a systematic, controlled, and critical investigation of hypothetical propositions, about the presumed relations among natural phenomena. So although this is very useful, it is actually it's a useful definition of research, because it points out that that research is conducted in all endeavors of life. You understand? Another scholar is called Uswala 2005 defines research as the process of arriving at dependable solutions to problems through planned and systematic collection, analysis, and interpretation of data. Now, he further adds that research is oriented towards the discovery of the relationship that exists among the phenomena of the world in which we live in. So now, from the above definitions, now it is obvious that we have examined the concept of research from various perspectives, and we make some comments, elaborations, or explanations. That is why we can say that research is a structured inquiry that utilized acceptable scientific methodology to solve problems and create new knowledge that is generally applicable. Research is also the systematic method consisting of enunciating the problem, formulating a hypothesis or research question, collecting the facts or data, analyzing the facts, and reaching certain conclusions, either in the form of solution towards the concerned problem, or in certain generalizations for some theoretical formulation. So it is an endeavor to discover answers to intellectual and practical problems through the application of scientific methodology or method. Okay, so those are the things. So now research is an original contribution to the existing stock of knowledge, existing stock of knowledge for its advancement. Now, it is a search for knowledge through objective and systematic method of finding solutions to a problem. It is also a systematic approach concerning generalization and the formulation of a theory. Okay, so those are the things. Now, having looked at the definitions of research, the next thing we're going to be looking at is the characteristics of research. What are the characteristics of research? Now, research, whether we like it or not, is a rigorous and verifiable academic slash scientific endeavor with the following characteristics. What are the characteristics? Number one, it must be systematic. Now, what does it mean for research to be systematic? It is systematic in the sense that research is systematic in the sense that
Bluetooth cancelled.
Systematic in the sense that it is a procedure utilized in conducting conducting the process, and this procedure must be rigid and must have standard protocol or logical sequence. Now, different steps cannot be undertaken in a haphazard manner. Now, the steps that must be followed for you to actually arrive at the same answer. So that is systematic process. So that to be logical. It has to be logical. It must be followed logically. So the logical and the rigid standard way in which you embark on an exercise to arrive at a solution is the systematic process of research. Number two, empirical. Empirical here is actually saying that research is based on hard evidence gathered from data collected from the field or real life experiences. Number three, it must be valid and verifiable. Now, whatever conclusions reached are on the basis of the findings being corrected. Okay, finding being correct and can be verified by other researchers. It must be number four, critical. This implies that research exhibit careful and precise judgment. Okay, this also implies that the process of investigation must be foolproof and free from drawbacks. Okay, the next characteristic is that it must be rigorous. The rigorosity of research is that it must be scrupulous in ensuring that the procedures followed to find answers to questions are relevant, appropriate, and justified. Okay. The next number is that it's organized. Research endeavor is not carried out haphazardly, but planned, including literature review and evaluating what questions need to be answered. So, analytical. Research utilizes proven analytical procedure in gathering data. It must be replicable. Whatever that is done here has to be done again and again. But what are the purposes of research or objectives of research? The objectives of research are: number one, when we're talking about the purpose, objective, or importance of research, all of them actually can be used interchangeably. So purpose, objective, and importance are all the same thing. So now let us look at the importance of research now. What are the importance of research? Number one, to contribute to knowledge in a given discipline, issue, situation, or provide practical solutions to problems. That is number one importance of research. Number two, to gain familiarity with phenomenon or to achieve new insights into it. Number three, to portray accurately the characteristics of a particular individual situation or a group. Number four, to determine the frequency with which something occurs or which it is associated with something else. The next is to test a hypothesis of a causal relationship between variables. The next one is to review or synthesize existing situations or problems. The next is to investigate existing situations or problems. The next one is to provide solutions to problems. The next one is to explore or analyze more general issues. The next one is to construct or create new procedures or systems. The next one is explain new phenomenon, and the last is to generate new knowledge. These are the importance of research. But what are the attributes? What are the attributes? The attributes are also the features of research. Attributes are the features of research. Although I've talked about the characteristics, but we are talking about some other attributes, of research. Now let us look at what are the attributes of research now, or of not just research, attributes of a good researcher. Now, who is a good researcher? A good researcher must have the following salient points. Number one, intellectual curiosity. Now, you cannot be a researcher if you don't actually have a very deep thinking and inquiry of the things and situation around you. So you must have a very, you must be very curious about the world around you or about the problems that you have around you. That's number one. Number two, prudence. This means that the researcher should be careful to conduct his research at the right time and place wisely, efficiently, and economically. Number three, healthy criticism. Now, as a researcher, you have to actually seek to be absolutely sure of the result of your study. You have to do healthy criticism. It does not have to be based on your hunch. It does not have to be based on your feelings or your emotions. It has to be based on time-tested empirical processes that you must have followed. The next one is intellectual honesty. Now, an intelligent researcher must be honest to collect or gather data on facts in order to arrive at the honest conclusion. Now, the last one is intellectual creativity. A productive and resourceful investigation always strives to create new research. So, as a researcher, you have to be intellectually creative. Okay, so those are the things. Now, let us look at. We are going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at types of research. Now we have different types of research. We have number one, we have applied research. Applied research is the type of research that is used, to apply to an everyday social problems, everyday problems. Now it is used to solve, you know, the an ongoing problem. Okay, so that is actually, you know, applied research. It is used to apply to problems for the purpose of finding solutions to those problems. That is applied research. We also have basic research. Now, the word basic simply means fundamental. And the fundamental research is actually the type that is done, you know, from the basics. Now, what happens in the natural sciences is actually basic research. Okay, we have qualitative research. Qualitative research is actually the type of research that is used to explain characteristics, explain historical antecedents, explain philosophies. you know it is not based on numbers, it's not based on statistics. It is actually used to explain ideas, philosophies, emotions, history of a people. Okay, now we also have quantitative research. Okay, the quantitative research is the type of research that is based on numbers, statistics, and of course mathematics. It is actually used, by statisticians, mathematicians, to measure quantity. Okay, so that is it. Then we also have, you know, uh, we have case study research. The case study research is actually the use of a case to generalize. We have experimental research. It is actually based on experiment, a controlled, you know, a controlled, fixtures for the purpose of actually, you understand, studying them, okay, in an experimental manner. Okay, so we have exploratory research. This one is done for the purpose of breaking new grounds, okay, to explore new ways. Okay, we also have historical research. It is based on history, based on historical antecedents of a people or of a particular thing. Then we have expository research. Expository research is the type of research that actually is done for the purpose of exposing new things to people, things that were hitherto unclear, things that were hitherto not clear to people, not exposed to the people. It is expository research that is used to really um, expose it to the people. Okay, so that is expository research. So, and there are so many other types of research, but what is important is, the introductory aspect of research is what we have just done. Okay, so research is one of the essential components of any scientific endeavor. It offers a researcher a measure of control and autonomy, you know, over what is being studied. It also presents an opportunity for the researcher to confirm, clarify, pursue, or even discover new aspects of a subject or topic. So you should be thinking of a research idea you will like to investigate, for your programs at the tertiary institution. Thank you very much, and God bless.